Hello and welcome to PlayStation Grenade. I finally gave Fortnite's Battle Royale mode the time it deserves, and I have to admit, I'm completely addicted now. I started off absolutely terribly, getting killed almost right away, but after a few battles I pieced together a few tips and tricks which made me a better player in solos and with teammates. I won't be talking about landing on roofs and finding chests or the best weapons to use either. I think at this point, you all already have a handle on that. Instead, this is 8 ways to turn a good player into a great player. Okay, let's do this. I'm starting with the single action which got me my first solo win in Battle Royale, using the bushes as a hiding spot. It sounds ridiculous, I know, but you'd be surprised how successful it can be. Most opponents will be searching for buildings to loot or player-made constructions, and will most likely miss a man in a bush, especially in duos and squads. My favourite course of action is to ambush an unsuspecting player and quickly retreat back into the bush using the weapons and resources they drop as bait for yet another kill. I'm sure in due course these spots will be checked more often, but at the moment it currently works perfectly. Heck, I've even been taken down by a bush dweller myself. And man, it hurts your pride. During the endgame, if you're lucky enough to find a bush near 2 enemies completely focused on one another, then pick your moment to attack the survivor. Hey, sometimes they'll even do the job for you. Right, time to go on the offensive Hey, I've won. Did he fall off? He must have fallen off. Other times, grenades and rockets can freak out a foe, causing them to frantically search for you. And then, your shotgun is your best friend. Yeah! The next tip is one I personally hate with a passion, but there is no denying it can be highly successful. Jumping around like a madman, especially in close range exchanges. The theory is simple, a moving target is hard to hit, but it's the added element which makes this a reliable technique. As headshots are the fabled crit area, jumping and shooting down on an opponent with a shotgun stacks the odds of a headshot in your favour. I'm absolutely terrible at it and prefer boots on the ground, but anyone who plays the recent Call of Duty titles, Titanfall or Lawbreakers, will be able to use this strategy with ease. Here's an example. When this chap is jumping around, my aim is all over the place, but as soon as he's back on the ground, I can absolutely melt him. Yeah, I got one of the little jumpy bastards. A minor tip I believe is worth mentioning happens right at the start of the game. When jumping out from the party bus, your glider or umbrella will pop at a certain distance from the ground, but it will activate earlier if it's above mountains, buildings or trees. If you want to get to the ground quicker, drop above ravines, low-level areas, or skirt the island's shoreline. Here's an example. When going for Loot Lake, I tend to jump later than everyone else and aim for the stream or in between the hills. Then, when my umbrella pops, I slice through the air and reach the target first. Then hopefully I've got the drop on other players. Pistol versus shotgun, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on! Yay! There's also something to be said about landing last. Whilst other players are flying out of the bus like misguided sperm, I jumped out as late as possible and glided all the way to the ground. And look, almost half the population were already dead. And even better than that, I actually won that game, so first down on the ground isn't always the best tactic. Next, it's the question to bait or kill. When an enemy is riddled full of bullets, they fall to the ground, waiting for help from a teammate. In duos, I highly recommend using the downed enemy as bait to draw out their partner in crime. Potentially losing half your team causes that last man standing to push forward to save their fallen comrade. And depending on how they approach it, 2 against 1, they haven't got a chance. Easy enough? In squads, I recommend the opposite, surprisingly. Using a foe as bait can be highly advantageous, don't get me wrong, but the risk-reward doesn't quite stack up in my opinion. Once our squad started killing those stragglers outright, the opposition began running in like mad dogs. I actually understand this mentality too. If you are playing as a group of 4 friends and lose a man or 2 early on, your odds of winning are cut dramatically and your dead friends are stuck watching instead of playing. Many teams will go on a kamikaze mission, me included, to off one of the opposition squad as soon as possible. So do you bait or do you murderize? I'd love to know what your preference is. Let's talk about reviving. Far too often the building mechanic is completely ignored in Battle Royale, most probably by those of us who started out in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. When a teammate hits the deck, build a shelter around them to both protect and obscure the opposition's line of sight. If they decide to rush you, you can be set with a shotgun. If they keep their distance, get your buddy back in the game. Just don't do what I did and accidentally shoot your pal in the head. If you're watching, Hans, I am so sorry, fella. It won't happen again.
Oh, shit.
Another underutilized building opportunity is when you are looting a corpse. Instinct usually takes over here and we dart in, grab gear and hopefully get away quickly. Well, a huge amount of kills happen when people are looting. Once again, build around those goodies and keep yourself and your team safe. If you remember my tactic from earlier, I actively use dropped weapons and other desirables to entice the opposition to come over, and then I ambush those greedy buggers.
Another one bites the dust.
Have you ever tried to pick up resources and accidentally pick up weapons instead? Well, this mechanic will soon be changed, allowing us to walk through the drops to instantly pick up materials and consumables. In the meantime though, if your inventory is full, equip your pickaxe and spam square to grab bullets and other goodies without displacing anything in your inventory. This is perfect for when you don't have the time to think about what you're grabbing.
Look at all this loot. Look at it.
Friendly fire can be damn annoying, but you can use it to your advantage. This one may be patched in future, but at present, if your teammate is below 30% health, straight up murder your friend. Well, down them, don't eradicate them completely. Once you revive them, they'll be back up to 30% health. This is a great way to save bandages for the endgame battles. There we have it, 8 ultra quick ways to be a little better at Fortnite Battle Royale. I've decided to add Fortnite as a regular to this channel, so please sub for more Battle Royale tips and tricks. I'm Adam from PlayStation Grenade, and I'm so addicted I'm going straight back to Battle Royale now. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you next time. Well, if I get a grenade to bounce off the top of the stairs, I could actually... Oh my word, did it! That's my first ever team kill. Oh, I f***ing love this game.